What's the word with y'all, man? How we doing? Y'all making some money, making better choices, things of that nature. And I'm gonna do a tutorial on this jacket right here. It's a puffer, so the fur is gonna be annoying. But I said, why not make a tutorial on it so people who also make these have some help? Because I know my first time I tried making these, it wasn't the most fun experience, I'll say. I'm gonna try and talk through the process as best I can, but it's mostly just gonna be you following along. For some people, I work pretty fast, so I'd recommend you just, watch the video a few times before you try and do as I do. This is a commission, so I can't plug the reference for you, but again, follow along. Watch and learn. You don't always have to watch and follow. You absorb information better when you're watching it in real time and observing it properly instead of just going back and forth between what you're working on and what I'm doing. You know, it's not like you're trying to cram the process. That's not how you learn. You got to take your time and get that mastery, if it is something that you care about that much. I know for some of you're more into commissions and just trying to get that money, make your group better, more profitable, whatever the case may be. But trust me, if you want to get better, rushing won't get you anywhere. If you're lucky enough, you might not even run into somebody that cares that much about how good your work is, as long as you're doing the work. But eventually, you're going to reach a level where that's not going to be enough. And how much time you put in the beginning will basically tell you how far you're going to go before you have to go back to watching tutorials again and learning new things from people. Get your base down, master your process. Those are the steps. Those are the steps. Obviously, can't put no music because YouTube is not a fan of that. I'm gonna try and avoid cursing as much as possible as well so that it doesn't get restricted by anything. And any and everybody can watch and learn, basically. But that's really the main thing I'm trying to accomplish, making it accessible to everybody. I'm not the best guy or like the best designer by any means, but I am somebody who wants to help. I want y'all to learn, I want y'all to get better, as long as you want to get better. That's really all it is. As long as you get better, I get better. I guess it's better to say I feel better, knowing that people are getting better. I feel like that's the better way to set up that analogy or whatever. But that's besides the point. Let's get back to this. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to get this chain out the way so it doesn't look off whenever. Close enough. Close enough. Not pretty, but close enough. If it still doesn't look right whenever I get done, there's ways to go around it and fix that, but we're not gonna worry about that for now. Sharpen before you start working on it. I don't know. I'll probably do the pants as well, but I don't have a side view for it, so I'm gonna have to do a lot of filling in, if that makes sense. We gonna get it. We gonna get it. Trust. About here. Pull that down. Okay, that's good enough for the placement. Now we gotta line up the back. Hopefully my mic didn't just pick that up. It's a lot going on outside, but hey, ball, right? But yeah, you don't have to worry about the bottom of the arms right there. I'm just trying to get this as lined up as possible. You don't have to do this method. This is just me messing around. If you already have worked on it before, like you work on clothes and you know your process, don't worry about this part. You can just skip ahead to when I start working on the fur if you want. This is just me playing around and going through my process. My process changes, you know. It's not always going to be the same way that I do certain stuff. I like to play around with it sometimes and try new things. If you want to improve, I feel like that's what you should do, you know. There's nothing wrong with experimenting, just doing something different, even if it don't come out right, you know. I say don't sell it to somebody if you know it didn't come out right, but there's nothing wrong with trying something new. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, don't sell stuff, don't sell experimental stuff. All right. That's gonna make or break you, your reputation. And you might think it doesn't matter. In the beginning, it probably won't, but as you go down the line and as you, or if you even become successful in this Roblox thingamajiggy, you gotta, you got a reputation uphold, you know? You gotta have a name for yourself. Somebody knows you for doing one thing, and then they're getting the commission from you, and now you're basically playing around with their work. And then they're not getting the experience that they were promised because they heard from a friend of theirs that, oh, you do this, that, and the third, but you gave them something completely different from what they wanted, if that makes sense. Now I'm gonna go to Liquify and line up these. Doesn't have to be perfect. Does not have to be perfect. I promise. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be there and on it. Yeah, so from here, this is just gonna be all fur all over the place. Don't make it work though. Gonna flip this part while maintaining the guidelines. If you flip it the way I do, I'd say be careful and get a close look to make sure it's actually straight. Because even the slightest imbalance could ruin the whole thing. And even this might not be perfect, but just, get it close enough, if that makes sense. Just get it close. One thing I'll say we're lucky with is we have a lot of fur to work with this, so we can just do a lot of copy and paste to fill in these points. We gotta see how I'm gonna do that neck hole, but one step at a time. One step at a time. Step at a time. This is me just filling in the areas, getting them placed and on there before I blend everything together. Place some fur around it. Right to the left. Okay. See if I can increase the brightness on this ever so slightly. I'm just trying to align everything best I can. And the way I did that was I made sure there was nothing selected. I went on the layer that I wanted to be in the background. And then I went back on the layer that I want to move around. And I hit liquify, works on smudge as well. And I right click from clipboard. And here we are. Line these up best I can. It's lined up. Finish her off. Okay. Not terrible. Not terrible at all. Now we gotta get this little spot lined up. Well, not lined up, but we just gotta make a hole right there. Try some a bit unorthodox. If it messes up, I ain't gonna lie, you can just close out right now. Because clearly I'm not the one to teach you. Fingers crossed. Comes out somewhat presentable. Okay. It's not bad at all. I haven't worked on fur like this in a very long time, so that's why I'm moving a bit more cautious. And I make a tutorial on it, so my mistake could end up messing yours in turn. So I'm just trying my best to have it looking nicer, close to nice, if that makes sense. I'm probably gonna darken this though. I'm gonna clip this out and darken it simply because of this stuff we did earlier. It's kind of bugging me now. So I'm just gonna use lasso, go around here. This is good enough. I gotta grab the whole thing. I just need you close to perfect. I don't need you perfect. I just need you close. I say there's no real way to get complete perfection with designing at any capacity. Like, you can dream as much as you want. Like, dream that you're the best of the best, but even the best of the best make mistakes. The only difference is somebody at a high level can spot their own mistakes, or they have connections with people who can spot their mistakes. and they get connected with people who are around that level instead of hanging around those who are just, oh, this looks really fire. This is the best stuff, you know? People who aren't glazing them, if that makes sense. If all you got is a bunch of hype men around you, you're never going to improve. And that's where UGCs or anything. You're never going to be as good as the next man because the next man is looking up to you. I won't say you need competition. I'll say you need insight, a different perspective, if that makes sense. I feel like that's too big. Yeah, you got to get with people around your level or better than you. You know, even if they make fun of your work or you ask the quote unquote dumb questions. That's how you learn, man. That's how you learn. Promise you. There's a few guys out there who probably were around when I first started. I was doing nonsense. Honestly, like I was just messing around. Really, I wasn't I wasn't one of the best. I wasn't even decent at the time. I'll say I'm decent now, but back then I was terrible. Right now I'm just messing around with the dark spots, trying to get it looking cool. But you don't have to do this part right here. This is my own little thing. This voiding right here. This is called voiding. You don't have to worry about this part though. This is just something that a few people do and a few people avoid because they can't do. I used to only do voids on pants, but like I was saying, started hanging around people who were better than me and learned that doing that on shirts is actually pretty cool as well. Like it can have a very interesting effect. If it doesn't come out good though, I'll probably scrap it and just do a light version, but this is just me playing around with it, trying to get a certain look. Yeah, do not merge this down if you feel like this didn't come out good. If you think it didn't come out good, it probably didn't come out good. Alright. One of those things you gotta trust you gotta know your ability. That makes sense. Blur. and then use an eraser on it just to get some fine edges going. Yeah, this is a part you can skip if need be. It's definitely not for everybody, I'll say. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, forget about it. Okay. So this is a solid point right here. Now we can transfer and get the arm started. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment as well as talk in my Discord server, which I will have linked below. Let me double check this. Making sure these are aligned are extremely important. Extremely important. Do the same over here. I'm gonna talk over the pants, but I'll see what I can do. Action Bronson, he's something else with his lyrics. That man is something else. I don't even think they'd let me upload it if I played the music I was hearing right now. But yeah, even if you don't have a question, you can still talk in my server. You know, could say something random, say what's up, anything like that is perfectly acceptable. Trying to build a community, trying, trying. A brother is trying. Okay, let's get some blending going. Place this on the other side before I start making adjustments and things like that. I'm gonna use clone stamp. Another thing I'd recommend is make sure you have all the plugins, right? You gotta make sure you have all the right plugins. If you need help figuring out which ones, you can ask me in the comments as well, and I should be able to get you right. Yeah, they're not difficult to download either. I forgot the name of the site, but I know it's very accessible too. You just gotta look up the exact one that you're looking for, and it gives you the whole list pretty easily too. Let's make some final touches. Okay, there we go. That's pretty much it. Hopefully you learned some. If you didn't, sorry to hear that. You know, better luck next time, right? I'll see you when I see you.